So the movie kicks off with this creepy old wooden box being delivered along with a birthday card, and this woman instantly freaks out the second she sees it. She tries ignoring it while fixing her hair, but suddenly huge chunks of her hair start falling out in her hands. She becomes convinced the box is cursed, so she grabs a hammer to smash it open. But the moment she gets close, terrifying noises start coming from inside the box. It's like something evil takes control of her body. Her eyes change, her legs lift into the air, and some invisible force starts slamming her around the room until she finally blacks out. Meanwhile, her son has been knocking on the front door the whole time, and after hearing all the horrifying sounds inside, he breaks a window and rushes in, only to find his mom unconscious on the floor. Then the story cuts to a man named Clyde, who's going through a rough divorce. His daughters mostly stay with their mom, but on weekends they spend time with him. One day, while driving around with the girls, they stop by a yard sale at an old house, the same house belonging to that possessed old woman. Among all the junk sitting outside is that exact creepy wooden box. For some reason, Clyde's younger daughter Emily feels weirdly drawn to it and begs her dad to buy it. As they're leaving, Emily notices the old woman covered in bandages, screaming "No!" at her with everything she's got, trying to warn her not to take the box. Emily gets scared and quickly runs back to the car. Later that night at home, Emily becomes obsessed with opening the box. Neither she nor Clyde can get it open, so they eventually leave it alone and go to bed. But in the middle of the night, Emily wakes up to strange whispering sounds coming from the box, and right in front of her eyes, it slowly opens by itself. Inside, she finds a creepy collection of items: an antique ring, a dead moth, a tooth, and some weird carved wooden object. Emily puts on the ring and falls asleep with the box beside her bed. After that night, her whole personality changes. She stops laughing, talking, and doing the things she used to enjoy. She becomes cold, distant, and silent, but Clyde and her sister just assume she's sick. The next night, the box calls to her again, and by morning, Clyde finds Emily sitting motionless in front of it. Through the mirror inside the box, we can clearly see her eyes have changed. She's fully possessed by some evil entity. But the second Clyde calls her name, her eyes instantly go back to normal. During breakfast, Emily suddenly starts acting aggressive, and when Clyde tries calming her down, she violently stabs his hand with a fork. Everyone is horrified, but when Emily snaps out of it and sees what she's done, she breaks down crying because she genuinely has no idea how it happened. Another night passes, and Emily's sister suddenly finds their bathroom filled with thousands of moths. Clyde follows the swarm into Emily's room and finds her sitting on the bed holding the box while moths cover the entire room. Yet Emily isn't scared at all. She's completely zoned out and doesn't even respond when Clyde talks to her. Freaked out, Clyde carries her outside and hires pest control, then sends both daughters to stay with their mother. Even from there, Emily calls Clyde and says something unsettling: "Take care of my box and don't open it." That finally convinces Clyde something is seriously wrong. So he opens the box himself and finds the same creepy objects inside. Around the same time, Emily starts getting violently sick. She rushes to the bathroom feeling like something is crawling out of her body, and when she opens her mouth in the mirror, she sees two horrifying fingers moving around inside her throat. Later, Emily secretly brings the box everywhere with her, and at school, when a boy messes with her backpack, she completely loses it and brutally beats him up. The teachers assume her parents' divorce has made her unstable and aggressive, so they confiscate the box and lock it away in the staff room. That night, the teacher who took the box becomes strangely drawn to it. As she tries opening it, her eyes suddenly change just like the old woman's did. Her body twists unnaturally, she levitates into the air, and some invisible force violently smashes her around the room until she's killed. The next day, the school shuts down after the shocking death, but Emily shows zero sadness. Instead, she coldly tells Clyde she wants the box back no matter what. When Clyde asks what's so special about it, Emily calmly says there's a friend inside who only talks to her. That's when Clyde finally realizes the box is pure evil, so he retrieves it from school and dumps it deep in the woods. But somehow, Emily instantly knows what he's done. She becomes furious, and during their argument, invisible hands suddenly slap her across the face twice. Emily's sister walks in at the worst moment and assumes Clyde hit her, so Emily runs out of the house completely possessed. She somehow finds her way right back to the buried box, and a voice from inside starts speaking to her in a bizarre language. Shockingly, Emily responds fluently in the same language. Then dozens of moths pour out of her mouth before she collapses unconscious. Clyde rushes to save her, but when he returns home, police are waiting because Emily's sister told their mother Clyde hit her. The court then decides Clyde can no longer see his daughters, completely destroying him. Desperate for answers, Clyde takes the box to a professor who studies archaeology and spiritual artifacts. The professor immediately recognizes it as a dybbuk box, an ancient Jewish object supposedly used to trap evil spirits through powerful rituals. Clyde realizes the spirit inside the box has been talking to Emily this entire time and is now controlling her. He tries performing an exorcism himself using a Bible, but Emily wakes up staring at him so terrifyingly that he drops the Bible in fear. Knowing he's in way over his head, Clyde visits a Jewish rabbi. The rabbi panics the moment he sees the box and explains that multiple evil spirits were sealed inside it, waiting for a pure soul to possess. And they found one in Emily. The only way to save her is to learn the spirit's true name and command it back into the box. Unfortunately, the rabbis refuse to help because exorcisms are forbidden in their synagogue. But one younger rabbi secretly follows Clyde outside and agrees to help anyway, even if it costs him his life. Back at Emily's mom's house, Emily has become completely monstrous. Once a vegetarian, she's now devouring raw meat like an animal. When her mother tries stopping her, Emily suddenly levitates and attacks her too, but then briefly snaps back to normal. Later, her mother's boyfriend insists Emily just needs psychiatric help, but Emily overhears everything. The next day, when he arrives to take her to a psychiatrist, Emily walks outside looking horrifying, with dark circles under her eyes and a dead expression. A violent wind suddenly starts blowing, and one by one the man's teeth crack and fall straight into his bloody mouth while Emily stares at him. Her mother watches in horror as Emily collapses, moths crawling from her mouth before she passes out completely. Emily is rushed to the hospital while Clyde and the rabbi finally discover the demon's name hidden behind the broken mirror inside the dybbuk box. Armed with the spirit's name, they rush to the hospital where the rabbi says they must perform the exorcism immediately because Emily is dying. Even Emily's skeptical mother is forced to believe after doctors spot a horrifying, shadowy entity inside Emily's body on her x-rays. They secretly move Emily into a therapy room where the rabbi begins the exorcism. The moment it starts, Emily screams in agony. The rabbi places a family photo inside the box, which causes the demon to completely take over her body. She attacks everyone and escapes into the hospital morgue. Clyde follows her, and although possessed Emily attacks him, she strangely doesn't kill him. Instead, Clyde begs the spirit to leave his daughter and take him instead. Moments later, Emily collapses, and the demon transfers into Clyde's body. Everyone thinks Emily is finally saved, but the rabbi knows the spirit only switched hosts. Continuing the ritual, he repeatedly commands the demon, named Abazu, to return to the dybbuk box. Suddenly, Clyde collapses, and a horrifying demonic hand tears its way out of his mouth before the entire spirit crawls out of his body and flies back into the box, which slams shut on its own. The exorcism is finally complete, and the family is saved thanks to the brave rabbi. In the ending scenes, Clyde and his wife reconcile for the sake of their daughters, and for the first time in forever, the family happily eats together again. But the movie isn't done yet. In the post-credit scene, the rabbi is shown transporting the dybbuk box somewhere safe when he suddenly gets into a horrific car crash and dies on the spot. The box lands beside the road near the woods, waiting for its next victim, and that's where the movie ends.